What's up? Thought I'd start episode 19 on top of a mountain here. Yeah, so in this video, we're finally doing a 911 update. No Nissan Ariya stuff, no Nissan Leaf stuff, just Porsche, Tesla, electric conversion project update. Check it out. We are up here. Denver's somewhere back there. All right, so in this video, we fabricated kind of like a metal frame to hold the battery box, and that was a lot of work on CAD and all this stuff, but I'll get into that too and show you guys updates on the design and fabrication of that part. Let's do it. All right, y'all, here's my project 911. It's a 1999 Carrera. You can see it's got the wing on it and the side skirts. It's got the aero kit front bumper, so it's got the full aero kit on it. I've been working on this car for like 3 years. Life's gotten busy, but I am still working on it. When I bought it, it had a bad engine. I think it had a bad rod bearing. I decided to not replace the 996 engine for a number of reasons, but the biggest one being just the expense. It's so expensive. You can take a gamble on eBay and get one for like $7,000 or $8,000. And then to rebuild, it's way more expensive, closer to like $15,000 or more. And so I decided to do a Tesla swap with this car, and I'm using the small drive unit from a 2017 Model S, I believe it is. It's the rear small drive unit. So the problem that I had to figure out was how to mount the battery box, and this has been something I've been struggling with for such a long time. The hard part was that none of the points lie in the same plane. There's not like they lie in the same X, Y, or Z plane, any of the mounting points. So that's why I used the 3D CAD. So let me just back up here and say that I found a 3D scan of the car in a website called GrabCAD. At first I was going to pay someone to scan the car, but then I found this scan of the car and I was able to import it. After I imported it, I was able to start designing brackets that would hold that battery box. In the 3D CAD model, it was just way easier than measuring because, like I said, nothing was in the same X, Y, or Z plane. So it seems like a small step, like a small hurdle, but man, it took a while to figure this all out. And I just made this part. This is something I made, designed completely in CAD. Ignore my paper strip on my nose. Yeah, so I'm going to test fit this piece under the car now. I have no idea if it's going to fit. This was designed completely off a 3D scan of the car, of the back, so let's see if it works. This side's supposed to go on the motor mount. This side goes on the rear subframe mount. All right, Elisha, here we go. So this part would go, there's a hole in here. This would slide up. This part, if we're gonna put that angle piece, we can cut off like half of that width there. This piece comes across and it kind of swoops down, and there's like a piece of angle there. And it bolts in. There's a hole and it just bolts in there. And I feel like, gosh, this is the part that took so long to design, you know, to thinking about where to grab it. And now that it's built, it seems obvious. You know, of course you would connect it there, but man, I was thinking about trying to do all kinds of stuff, but this is, I think, the best solution. And there's actually, you can see there's another bolt back there that I could use to kind of like distribute that stress a little bit if I needed to. If you know, hanging it off just this one bolt was too much, I could, you know, I can work off that other one back there as well. So I'm giving you guys all my secrets here. If you want to go through the work of doing this kit yourself, you kind of get the gist here. Maybe one day I'll like make a kit. I dream of like cleaning this up. This is obviously like a very rough draft version 1, but it'd be cool to you know, keep going and refine it and make it look really nice. And then people could just buy these motor mount kits and then their Tesla small drive unit and swap their 996 with a blown motor, an IMS failure, or a rod bearing failure, or all of the things that can fail in those motors. Cracked cylinder liner. What else can happen? You know, all kinds of stuff. Cracked cylinder heads. Those are easier to fix, but there's a lot of things that can go wrong with the engine that came with this car, which is a big reason why I'm going this route. All right, so let's measure this and get some metal cut. Here's our tape there. And again, we're gonna be doing something like, let's fit it up here. What is? That's exactly 32. Measure twice, cut once. It's like butter. All right, we got our 33-inch piece here, just over 33. This is gonna go like this. All right, there's our cross piece, sick. And now you can see, boom, we're gonna just reach out from there and grab that mount. How are we gonna do that? Well, we got some 3-inch angle. This is gonna be beautiful. There's our 3-inch, 1/4 inch thick, 3-inch angle. That's it right there. It cut pretty good. That's gonna work. You get the idea, I think. Figuring out how to mount all of this weight in the car, because at first I was actually gonna mount to this kind of cross piece right here, this arched one. But you can see that's like a cast piece, and where it hooks into the subframe there, it's kind of just on these pretty weak looking eyelets. I've kind of scrapped that plan and gone and mounted it. You can see it mounts here on the motor mount and up front on the rear subframe mount. And I feel a lot better about that. I think it's gonna be way stronger, and it needs to be because the battery's gonna weigh close to 400 pounds. When the car is like trying to accelerate, it's really gonna press down on, or I guess it would lift on this rear mount here. So it needs to really be secure. You can see most of this is 1x1 steel, and then this is a 1x2. All right, so what we see here is the battery box is sitting in there. Boom. Pretty cool. Cutting metal here.